Hola Eva, buenas noches.
Hola, buenas noches.
Bienvenida a nuestra nueva clase del día jueves semanal.
Exactamente. Hola a nuestros amigos tangueros.
Aquí estamos una vez más,
Ujú.
listos para bailar.
Exactamente. Hello, our tango friends in the other side of the screen.
You look beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful colors.
Thank you so much. This design is by Celina Rotundo. Thank you so much for this beautiful design. I already put the link to her website in the description. So if you are interested, you can research, you can see her catalog. She's an amazing designer. I think you will love more than one thing that you will see. Yeah, thank you so much to Celina.
Yes, thank you Selena and Hugo. Today we have a great class. I'm very excited about today's class, especially because we missed last week. It was Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all our friends from the United States who celebrate the holiday. We had a great weekend, harmonious, spent with the family, and we're back today with more tango. Today is the boleo, front boleos.
Front
Not
boleo.
just any boleos, stylish front boleos. What do we mean by stylish front boleos? The difference between knowing how to do a front boleo and how to incorporate it into your dance is very important, because when we teach boleos in class, for example, this is our method, we try to introduce our students to the element. And what is that we and many instructors do? They will come up with a little sequence, a little tale, a little short choreography to say, to put it a name, in which you have a pre-made sequence of steps. For example, you go to the step to the side, it goes to the step like this, you lead the boleo, you bring your feet together, and then you do a tango close. That is a very simplistic sequence, but it has in mind the possibility for the students to focus on the element, the new element, without any other additions. We go back, we go side, because this is the second step on the basic step. Maybe we lead the boleo there. We teach how the transition into front ocho, and then tango close. For example, you will learn maybe another day in our classes, you will learn what a front boleo is, right? Back boleo, the word says it, is when it's in the back. Front boleo, when this happens through the front. So for example, in a introductory front boleo class, we would probably tell our students to lead the follow into the cross, lead the follow into a front ocho, and then incorporate the front boleo. But in reality, then when we go to the dance floor and we apply those elements as they were, they look a little bit academic. That's the term. The term academic is referred to a person that doesn't look like it has real life experience, that is just fresh out of the school, and it needs to put a little bit of dirt. Some people say dirt. You got to make it a little bit dirty, and that means incorporate your personal style, incorporate your form, incorporate the movement into a sequence of other elements, and then you combine different elements that you learn in different classes into one bigger steps that has to do with the spontaneity of the moment, the interpretation of the dances, the inspiration from the music, and your creativity to combine different movements based on the balance and or axis that you have. And this is the spirit today, because our sequences, our series is about going back to basics.
Yes.
So we want to go back to basics, review our fundamentals, but have a little twist, and then have more flavor into it. So we're going to focus on sharing two examples, hopefully, of how the front boleos can be incorporated onto the dance from pre-existing movements. And one pre-existing movement that is excellent to initiate front boleos is front ochos. Why? Because the lead can alter the energy of the follow when she has it. But if the follow is in stillness, and we have to be the ones that get the dynamic going, it's extra work. Now, when the follow has momentum, when she is in motion, we can simply change the direction of that energy, alter slightly, and then the outcome will be different. But the energy is existing, is the follow who does it. So,
correct. I will add to that. I will add to that, to Patricio say, that the elements you learn when you go to classes or you watch these videos, if you see us dancing later on, when we dance, we show you how we incorporate those elements, the things that we are teaching you in the dance. That's a work that you can do by yourself. When you are given an element or a pre-made something, whatever it is, then you can see when you are improvising and creating your own dance, study a little bit where other places you can actually apply that new knowledge that you have, or an old knowledge, because maybe you get stuck in doing the same thing over and over, you know, and you get bored with the idea that you're always kind of leading the same, this is especially for the leads, you know, so you might want to kind of slow down and check what other possibilities you have, okay, because once you have certain elements, then you can combine them in so many different ways. You know, that's a work that you had to do, and it will enrich your dance, and it happens to be that you need to see what are your options in that particular position that you are. It's everything it has to do with the position you have right there to be able to do a variety of things, okay? So this is a way of thinking to become, you know, more creative in your dance, yeah?
That's exactly right. I remember Copes, my grand maestro, he used to say, you have to make a tango your own. It's a personal journey. You can take classes and do things all your life, like this teacher, like that other teacher, like this, your teacher told you this, but that's your teacher dance. At some point, you need to decide what is for you, what is that you like, and how do you do things, and how you feel things. Now, getting to that point is very challenging, and it's like I said, a personal journey.
Yeah.
But it's important to keep in mind, and it's also important to keep in mind that sometimes you have to drop things out. We don't do everything. Everybody does not do everything. There are things that are for you, and there are other things that are not for you, and that's because you just feel like that. And so you can try certain movements for a certain time, and sometimes you say, you know what, I really don't enjoy do that, and it does not have to be part of your tango.
And of course, sometimes it's a matter of time till you learn the correct technique to feel good about it, right? That's
yes.
another. Sometimes you feel, it doesn't feel good, but sometimes it's because you need to work out other things so that eventually will feel good, actually. So, yeah.
But sometimes we filter things out and we let go
of
of some things, because we cannot do not everybody can do everything all the time.
Yeah.
And that is what gives you an identity. Everybody has strong points and some weaker points, you know. So it's totally fine not to be proficient in some things, or not to fill your dance with everything you see. How about we show them an example right away of a little combination that has a boleo built into it, and or maybe we can share some ideas to initiation of the front boleo from the front ocho. So we're going to start with that simply.
Yeah, I will go through the technique of the front boleo to remind you, because it's about front boleos. So, of course, we are going through to show that too, okay?
So in order to get a front boleo, we're thinking that we are dancing normally in a close embrace, and front boleos are difficult in a close embrace because the bodies can be in the way. For example, if I lead my partner into a front ocho, she is crossing her hips, you see? She's taking a pivot, so she's engaging her core, and at this point, Eva brings her left hip around through the engagement of the core, twisting, using the frame slightly, but she can use the frame for that, and then steps forward. So as she has this, as I give a little bit more power, it's kind of like the difference between a breeze and a wind. When you lead her on a regular front ocho, it's equal to a breeze, right? It's soft and it has enough energy to move you. But then when you want a front boleo, you make her preserve that axis onto the foot that she's standing, and you anticipate, you rush a little bit more turn, something that will make her elevate her leg, elevate her knee. She will feel kind of like an induction to feel like, okay, oh, my leg has to go that way. And that's all you can do. You can signal where you want her to do her leg. And when the follow becomes aware of that energy, she might kick and embellish with the front boleo. So simply this part, front ocho, and then here I rush with my hand here on her side, rush that. And then step out. You see? So if you do front ocho, there is a certain disassociation in this front ocho. Front ocho, front ocho. More disassociation in that one. You see? So when you are able to go this way, that is what the follow feels, this energy swinging her foot, and then she does the boleo. Now, for the boleo, it's very important that the follow clears her toes, because you're wearing very sharp heels. The heels have a plastic bottom that is very hard and very square. So when you rush the leg that does the boleo and you scrape over the toes, you might actually cut your skin. So you have to be careful. Would you like to share a close-up with the students of the proper technique?
Yeah, I will show first what Patricio is saying about your legs. Okay. Yeah, I will be here. Yeah. So your leg, when you are coming to do the boleo, that you're coming through the other leg, I will put myself here. This leg, this foot has to go around with enough clearance to cross to the other side. That's what he's talking about, okay, this moment. Because if we just rush it on top of our feet or our toes, oh my gosh, that hurts so much, okay? So you want to always go around. And I will show you there something. If I'm coming from a front ocho here, and I'm pivoting, I put my knees and my ankles together, I keep turning my hip, the leg keeps traveling around the way I show you, and only when I'm in the other side, I kick up like that. See that? So, again, I go cigarette, knees, ankles together, pivot, I stop the pivot, the leg keeps going around, boop, up. It will be slap. See that? Back.
Wow, that looks beautiful.
Back. Back. See that? So knees and goes together, my leg keeps going. So it's like I have two different orbits. One is the foot that is swiveling, and the other orbit is the foot that is coming around. And they work separately from one to the other to another. This leg will pivot to a certain point, but the other leg will keep going around, right? So I will go. Shoop, keep going, boleo. And a very important point on this, I keep my leg bent all the time. This leg, the right one in this case, it can be the other leg too, but in this case I'm doing my right one. I'm bent here. I'm bent. So my both legs are bent right now because the other one is fitting that. I'm bent. I'm bent. This is bent, this is bent. I don't know if you see that. And then from there, I lift the leg. So you see this is bent. I don't raise myself here. This is a very common feeling that the follower have because the leg is going up, going up. We don't do that. We keep ourselves where we are. We just work out the leg that we are swinging around. Okay, and of course you can do the other side, so you can practice that. Knees and ankles together. I keep going there. Boom. Yes. But so, what is important in a certain part of my ear, you can change, I think, if you want.
Yes.
The camera is a certain. What are you activating or stopping when you are doing boleos or anything in tango? Not everything is not moving constantly, right? So there's different parts of our body that are activating or stopping and other things that are moving. In this case, is all this energy that is turning me stops here. And I keep that energy, I just let it go through my body till my toes.
Yes, because I'm leading from the frame. So as I rotate your upper body or your back, I rotate your back, then that's a responsiveness.
Yes.
So at some point this frame doesn't turn anymore, and you find yourself sliding your foot here for that extra energy, and that's where you cross your leg. So the boleo is done by you, entirely by you.
And before we keep going, from boleo can be done. Today I will focus on this way of doing boleo, which is really allowing that energy to go all the way circular, to my foot. Also, you can practice keeping that energy on the floor, but it will be the same here. It will be the same, and I really mean it, because from here to there, it's not much of a difference, okay? So if you decide not to kick that leg up, you can you create the boleo? Shoop! You can keep it low here. The energy travels through, I just control the energy going to the floor. I didn't allow it to do the whip effect at the end. Yeah, but my leg still is crossing in front of the other, the same thing I show you there. So this leg keeps traveling around the other to do that. It doesn't matter if you kick up or you keep it on the floor, the leg keeps traveling on top of the other leg, okay?
Yes, dancing is the art of isolation to me. It's the art of muscular isolation. So we have control from our brain specifically to this muscle, and that muscle. Yes. From that point to another one. So at this point I'm moving my shoulder, my hip, my leg, everything stopped. Now my leg continues and it does the boleo. A big problem that some of the students have is not to understand how far you go. And then sometimes people stop too soon, and then they think, oh, I need to kick my foot up, and then they go, whoop, and they're falling, because they haven't had the patience to allow the weight transfer to fully happen, and then this lengthening here, the range of motion, the timing, and then sometimes we don't have full mechanics. Yeah. So very important to pay attention to these things. How about we dance?
I think it's a great idea.
We can dance and show them this movement in action. Actually, we are going to construct a sequence that I want to briefly show. What I'd like to see is that you, let's say we go from a parada, right? We're talking about creating space that is not so predictable. We do a turn to the left. A lápiz, a parada, for example. This is a very hypothetical commonplace. Now I bring my partner in front of me, so she steps in front of me. Notice how Eva is twisting her back because she has this association. And at this point I have both of my feet on the floor. I begin rotating her and rush her. And then we will continue from here. Shall we do that again?
Yes.
So you notice what I'm doing. We're stepping to the side. I come forward. And Eva is standing in front of me. She begins side, forward, side, back, side, forward for a full lápiz and a parada. This is a nice moment in itself. When she comes forward here very stylishly, she can embellish this. She places her foot right in front of me, and this gives me a good triangle. If you notice on the floor, there are 3 feet on the floor there. We're setting a triangle. You see 2 of my Eva's foot and 1 of my feet. 1, 2, 3, a good triangle. I insert my foot here because of the parada, and this becomes a sacada. And I give a little bit of wind here. Then I deposit my partner in my chest for a slight volcada, and we continue. I show my part once.
Okay.
I step to the side, forward, leave my right foot behind. You see? My left foot is behind there, and I'm pointing that foot. From here, I begin turning my partner's side, but see what this makes me do. It makes me turn my shoulders, because as I indicate to my partner that she goes sideways, I rotate my body. This disassociation empowers my core, and I can then do this enrosque. From here, I launch my lápiz, pivot a little bit, and then look to wrap in front of her. And there, I look for this cross body which makes me look so handsome right now.
Yeah, you look very handsome.
Oh, it makes me feel very thin and fit right now. You see, you lose like 10 pounds just by doing that. Like that.
Yes.
You see? Because you're just twisting your body like that, and then you look
Look
like
at that. Yes.
You see that? But you have to look that, and the sensation here is muscular contraction. Form is not free. You pay with it. You pay for it with an effort. She steps in front of you. You lure her right in front of you. And then as she passes, you rush a little bit your left hand, rotating her shoulder, and try to keep your feet on the floor for more stylish. Right there, you see? I'm staying and I'm connected with that floor. That means I'm still standing there. If I put my foot in the air, I will be just shuffling all over the place. And it just hurts my eyes. You know, with the feet go like that and they have no location. It's important to locate your feet and keep them in place. Don't move your feet for no reason. If you don't know what to do with your feet, keep them in place. Move your upper body.
Don't do anything. You don't know.
Shuffling. Right?
Unless
Shuffling.
you need to correct something, of course.
Side step, forward step, pose. She goes side, forward, side, back, side, forward, shoulder. She steps in front of you because you let her over that sandwich or over that parada, and then left shoulder. And I'm raising my voice at that moment because that's the moment where I put a little bit of power, a little power energetic. So the follow turns more. And with that levitating power, she then executes her boleo.
Vamos a mostrar.
The follows go side and back. Now, please don't be in autopilot because some follows will initiate that and will run. You see, I'm bringing you up to a collection. 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here is the parada we're talking about. The follow steps. See this association? This in the back? That's what we're getting. Then back together, chest to chest. And we walk out. This can be done totally in a close embrace. For those die-hard milongueros that they feel like they're killing the tango if they separate their torso from their partner,
totally.
you definitely can do that. This is a good way to get the body out of the way so the follow can kick her knee this way and not kick you here in the in your thigh. Because if the follow swings the knee towards you, it will kick you right here in the thigh or even worse, in your groin. You don't want any of that. So it's important that you give the follow, you put her abdomen pointing away from you, her knees pointing away from you, right there. You see, she can do anything she wants because I'm not there, I'm next to it. This is a good opportunity actually to kick. If you like a little bit of more energetic, kind of like performance quality, or if you live in LA or in Hollywood and you like that kind of like movie star style.
No, well, you can keep low too. I mean, that's an option too. But I wanted to say,
I like it.
I will mention,
Kick.
I will add to what Patricio said before about kicking your partner, you know, when you go. That's why when I show you how to do a boleo correctly, I'm in one side, but then all of this happened, no boleo yet. You know, I mean, the boleo happened only at the end when I'm on the other side of the couple. Okay, so that's why it's so important that when you do that, everything stops, but this keeps going to the other side. Your hips need to flip perpendicular to your partner. Okay, you cannot really be facing at him to do boleo, so don't even try to do the boleo if your hips are pointing at him. That's not a good idea.
It's a general consideration that you always have to be in a direction that is away from your partner.
There. And yeah, we can make it fluid. One.
Let's try to do it in a closer embrace, like I was just mentioning, and see if we can keep our chest, our sternums really together, and see if we can twist and kick underneath. You see, perfect. Plenty of space. You see, we're really engaged here, torso to torso, and she has the clearance to kick, do the boleo, and now we're back together. Nice feeling here of lengthening, see, and then the volcada, small volcada, slide, and we exit in cross system. So beautiful.
Very beautiful, yes.
I think we have a problem. We love this so much, we get carried away and we just talk, tango, dance. It's been already almost a half an hour and we haven't told our friends what they can do to help us continue running our studio here.
That's right.
So I'm going to bring the screen up really quickly so you guys can make a donation if you feel like it. We appreciate your support and is what keeps us in place here, because everything has a price value in this world in which we live. So if you want to help us to stay in the air and share the tango with the world, you know what to do. You can make a donation today in venmo.com/Patricio and Eva, or you can use PayPal, paypal.me/Patricio, Tango Experts. It's written at the bottom, Tango Experts, and there is a link at the bottom. Any amount, we will be happy to hear from you and to receive your support.
Yes.
And if you cannot make a donation today, you can like and you can subscribe and you can tell your friends about it.
Yep.
Very nice. So I think we need to dance a song, like we said, and go from there.
Nice.
Como abrojito prendido dentro del corazón una pena, porque te fuiste ingrata del nido y a mi vida tan serena condenaste hacia el dolor. Nunca podré arrancar de mi pecho nunca el abrojito punzante y ando por todo el mal que me has hecho con el alma hecha pedazos, sin fe, sin nido ni amor. No sé por qué te alejaste de mí, si te adoré con tan ciega pasión. No sé por qué te alejabas así, sin demostrar tu desamor. Con tu querer yo era un hombre feliz, nunca creí que tu ardiente pasión era el puñal que me habría de abrir una herida en el corazón. El abrojito punzante guiando por todo el mal que me has hecho con el alma hecha pedazos, sin fe, sin nido ni amor.
I did.
Here. I forgot to bring up the volume.
Now we are in.
Yes, we can do it energetically, we can do it softly, we can do it lethargically, we can do it vigorously, we can do it big, we can do it small.
Correct.
So the energy has to be slightly over our standard. If we're leading soft ochos, the boleo has to be a little bit rise in the energy, but it does not have to be very forceful. For example, that was El Abrojito by Podestá, and he was singing it in a very romantic way. So you can really tone this, more energy or less energy, depends on what.
Yeah, and some of the options and some of the things that we did, I kept the low boleo because the energy was very soft and I didn't feel like lifting my leg. And in others, I added embellishment because you didn't keep going. It's not, the timing was not like this. You kind of stop in the boleo. So if that happened, I add right now just because that's what the music suggests to me. After the boleo, I did down and I did 1, 2. You know, you can always add little things here because you are already there if you feel like it matched the music. And it might be a good thing to practice because that's what happened in boleo, right? You are here, you can be there or there. You don't even need to move your leg. This is a nice practice for you to do that circle around your own foot, in which once you get this leg around, you can fix this position on your thigh, where it is, and from your knee down, I show you, from your knee down, you can go to one side or the other, see? Without changing the higher part of your leg, you do it from the knee down, see that? Dun, dun. So you add a little thing there that can be used by itself, right?
It's time to go.
Well, it will be another opportunity for sure that we get together probably next week. So we hope to see you there next week.
Next Thursday,
yes,
we'll be here again.
Thank you for joining us. Take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.